Good afternoon and welcome to another Oblivion Plays stream. Sorry about the delay there, I don't know why it just took a little while to load in and explain. Hello Callum Disney, welcome to the stream. My day has been excellent, thank you. How's yours been? So today we are flying the Flight Factor A320 in this beautiful Thomas Cook Airlines livery. Rest in peace Thomas Cook, you were brilliant. And we are flying from Birmingham up to Aberdeen. So, relatively short flight, about an hour's flight time today. 286 nautical miles as the crow flies. A little bit longer with the routing that we'll be taking. And this is UK 2000 Birmingham scenery with World Traffic 3 running the AI aircraft that you can see in the background there. And it'll be UK 2000 Aberdeen when we get there as well. Let's jump into the cockpit and let's get ready to go. So, first things first, let's get all the load and everything sorted out. So, supply, let's get the ground power unit connected. And let's get our fuel. Right, let's get a flight plan. Flight plan today is generated by PFPX, as per usual. And we'll call the fuel truck, and we will get 4.8 tons of fuel on board. Oh, actually, we can go even more precise than that. So, it's 4.764, so let's see how close we can get to that. So the next nearest will probably be 4835, that's fine. No, wrong one. Let's try that again, and then we'll set it. 4.764, wasn't it? Set. Okay, passengers, we are pretty full today. You love it. You've been good. You're on a speedboat currently on holiday in Spain. Wow. Can't get any better than that. Jet 2 soon on your way back to Glasgow. Awesome. You love Aberdeen. Yeah, it's a great airport. I was hoping to fly to UK 2000 Inverness, but they haven't released it for X-Plane. It's just come out for P3D. And I was hoping to just check it out for this stream, but they haven't released it yet. So we thought Aberdeen's brilliant as well, so we'll fly there instead. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of Spain, Callum. Don't wish it away. I know that flight's going to be good fun on the Jet 2, but yeah, enjoy the holiday whilst it lasts. Right, passengers numbers 173 plus 5 infants. So we will go. I think yeah, it doesn't actually go up that high on the Flight Factor because we've got business class. So we'll go full. Set and get. And then cargo, what we will do, let me just see where we're up to with the zero fuel weight, 53.6. So we'll put in the rest of the payloads, so 16,387. Does that actually give you a weight? No. Okay, what was our... Just trying to do some mental arithmetic. 53, so we got another... 7,000, 6,900-ish. Let's see how close that gets us. Another 1,000. How are we doing there? Just a couple of hundred kilos less. We'll go 7.8. 6,522. That'll do. That's pretty bang on. Right, so let's get booted up. We're cold and dark, so we'll do the full startup. So bats on, and then external power connected. Just get the displays up to max. And yeah, so radios are on, FMSs are fine, we'll just get these a little bit brighter. That's really loud. What I might do is just turn the volume down a tad. That doesn't actually seem to do anything. I wonder if they're using an external sound mod. 1 second. Go into settings. Where's the sound? Oh, maybe there isn't. How's the sound balance looking, Callum? Let me know if the background noises are too loud. I know I've turned it down a little bit on OBS, so it should be okay. I'm sure there used to be. Maybe I'm thinking of a different aircraft. I'm probably thinking of the 767, where you can manually reduce the sound. Just try it again down here. Let me just see. Ah, right. No, it's just because you've got to click done. Okay. Well, we'll just go up to like there. Just turn it down a tad. That's better. Okay. Right. Let's get the checklist up, and then we can work through it. So we made all the displays bright. We don't need any of the internal floodlights or integrated lights. Batteries are on. External power's on. IRSs we need to align. I'll just do my flow now. We'll come back to the checklist. So just let that one come off the bat. Whereabouts in Spain are you on holiday? And last one. Okay. So moving our way around, let's get the navigation light on, and let's get the emergency lights armed, and the passenger lights on. And it's quite cold today, so we'll go down to flow packs, and got the fuel pumps on. Salud, very nice not being there, but I'm sure it's nice. It's freezing in the UK today, 5 degrees centigrade. Pretty unusual even for the UK to be in September, so you're definitely in the right place in the world at the moment. I'm sure Glasgow's even colder. Right, I think that's everything there. Let me just double check. Oh, they like to put in the electric hydraulic pump on. I don't know why, but we'll follow the checklist. So fuel pumps are on, engine gens are on, packs 1 and 2 are on, engine bleeds are on, hot air is on, anti-ice. Oh, actually we might need it today. What's the outside air temperature? What do they say to put it on? Well, actually, it's to go off. We'll switch. Probably have to switch that on. Actually, what's the point? Actually, it's pretty clear skies, so we might actually not need it. Depends on the clouds on takeoff. What's the temperature there? But it's in the 20s. Emergency lights are armed. Cabin signs are on. Nav and logo lights are on. We don't need the logo lights because it's daytime. And EFC and GPWS are on. Parking brake should be set. Yep. Oops. Speed brake is retracted and off. Engine masters are off. Engine mode selected as normal. Thrust levers are idle. Transponders on standby, and the rest is absolutely fine. So let's move it down to our flight computer and go to the init. And we are going from Echo Golf Bravo Bravo. First flight on this stream from Birmingham. Usually go from Manchester, obviously. And then Echo Golf, I think it's Papa Delta, isn't it? Yeah. And IRS. There we go. And then cost index will be 20. Back in 3 days, it'll be. You'll be feeling it soon, yeah, definitely. Particularly if it's 27 degrees, that's pretty insane. Right, cruise altitude today. I can't believe it's 27 and it's 5 degrees here. 360, and temperature is -54. At least it's not that much colder up there. And flight number, we'll just put a holding flight number in because we're not online today, as per usual. And then our zero fuel weight is 60.5. And our zero fuel weight centre of gravity is 29.2. So pop that in there. Blocked today is 4.8. And that's our weights and perf put in. Okie dokie. So, flight plan. Departure today will be the Luvu 1 mic, and we're taking off from 3-3, which has been confirmed with flight radar, so they are using 3-3 at Birmingham. Luvu 1M, and no transition. So after Luvu, oh, actually direct TNT. Just make sure that's the right one. Trent, and it is 53001, is that one? Yeah, so actually the second one down. And 21 nautical miles, yep, that correlates. And then after TNT, we are going to Airways, and we are going UN 57 to Pole Hill, POL. And then UP18 to Natab. Really weird, some of the keys are really loud and some of them aren't. So we'll insert that, temporary insert, and then go down to Natab because we're going direct to Ballard. Remember that one when you're flying up to Aberdeen. After Ballard, we're going UP18 to Aberdeen, which is ADN. Okay. After that, we are going direct onto the runway 33 ILS, again correlated with flight radar. Ooh. Is it 3-4 now? Oh no, I'm looking at the Birmingham one, that's why. Yeah, 3. Well, actually, even having said that, it's 3. Yeah, no, it's 3-2. No, that's wrong. No, we want 3-4 because that's significantly longer runway. We don't want to be going on like one of the helicopter landing runways. Right, let's get rid of that discontinuity, and then we'll just go onto the plan page on the map display, and then we'll run through that to just make sure everything looks good. Okay, so straight out, pretty much straight up to a northeasterly direction, up to TNT Pole, Natab, Ballard, Aberdeen, and then back out to the ILS. What we might do is just skip out the Aberdeen bit, because we don't really need to go via Aberdeen. Just go straight to CF. So how's that looking? Yep, that's better. Straight in approach, because let's be honest, if that happened in real life, we'd be getting vectors in CF anyway. Okie dokie, and then we'll go to the perf page and get our V-speeds. Right, so you've got model planes for the Jet2 757-200 and 737-800. Excellent. Is that like the die-cast ones, or is that like, what are they called? Is it Airfix? You know, the gluing ones that you glue together. Right, so let's go to the perf data, and our CG is 29.2. Takeoff shift, and then flaps. We're flaps 1, and we're going up. Sorry, down at 0.2. And takeoff shift. I can't remember what you put in there. Whether that's the centre of gravity or not. I remember doing it in the tow list. Let me just work it out. A320. Takeoff shift. used when taking off from an intersection to update the FMCG. The FMCG assumes that when you select flex or toga, you're at the threshold. Right, okay, we don't need to fill that in then. Flex temp will put in 66. That seems to be right. It's usually around about 65, 66 if you calculate it properly. We'll just make sure the transition altitude is correct by going to our handy friend, the aviator's tablet. Get the up-to-date QNH. Put that in whilst we got it up. So 1020, sorry, and that's synced on both sides. Then we go over to the charts, and we'll just click one of the approaches because it's easy to find the transition altitude. Yep, it's 6,000, so that's perfect. And then we'll just put in 137 for, well, I'll put 136 in for V1. It's usually round about the same. Okay, excellent. So that's everything put in. We'll just put in our altitude, cruising altitude, which is 360. Yeah, that's a bit quicker. And then that's managed, and then we'll just wait for the IRSs to align. And then, oh, it should be. Maybe not. There we go. Oops. There we go. Okay, so speeds in managed mode as well. Anything else that we need to do? Flight directors are on. Excellent. Okay, let's go over to the checklist page and make sure we haven't missed anything. Yep, so landing gear is definitely down, MCDU, doors are open, anti-skid is on, flight directors are on. Yep, flight skid's definitely on. Flight skid, what am I talking about? Anti-skid is on. Okay, FMGS is all set. I believe. I'm just quickly running through them all, making sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, so we're all good on that side. So fueled up, chocks should be removed. I'll just make sure. Yep, chocks are removed. We're still on the GPU, so we can start the APU now. But what we'll do just before that is just get rid of everything on the ground. Excellent. And then we'll go back to checklist and we'll start up the APU. Cool, so just going onto the display page as the APU boots up. Like I said on the last time I used the Flight Factor, I don't know whether the refresh rate on the displays is actually simulated to be slower than kind of essentially what the simulation is doing, because it's almost like quite jerky. I don't know whether that's true to life or whether I'm just going to change the setting. So APU is online. Excellente. Right, we'll get the better pushback. So pre-plan, not been here before, so we just need to tell them where to put us.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
So APU's on and the APU bleed's on. You can turn off the external power and just disconnect it. I love the sounds in this aircraft. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but like even the battery load is like simulated. So if you put additional load onto the batteries when you haven't got any of the like ground power or anything on it, like the sounds fluctuate as like the load is simulated. It's really cool. All right, doors are closed. We'll get the beacon on and get the pushback truck on his way.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Here he comes. One of the few airports where he doesn't drive through the airport buildings. Well, now I've said that, I bet he's going to drive through the staircase. Do appreciate the likes, guys. Thank you very much for those of you who have liked the video. It does really help my my channel and my streams. Okay, so in he comes. Also, I am not a perfect pilot, so if at any point you notice I missed something, don't hesitate to shout out in the chat. Because the last flight was a disaster.
Okay,
missed so many
all doors
things.
and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Cool. Just make sure the doors are closed. Yeah, all green. Excellent. Well, I'm pretty sure he just says that even if the doors are open or closed. Look at that, outside air temperature 11 degrees. You wouldn't have thought it's September. It's crazy cold. Up we go as we get loaded onto the pushback truck.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
So we'll switch over to the engine
Starting
start mode.
pushback and you may start engines.
Now I seem to remember they don't turn off the packs in automatically, so you just got to turn them off. So starting engine number 2. So I mean about like the refresh rate, so it's kind of quite jittery, the displays. So that's the start cutout. So start engine number 1. Good start. So put the packs back on again.
Operation complete.
Engine mode back to
Set
norm.
parking brake.
And then parking brake on.
Disconnecting
Parking brake back on.
Stand by.
And then what we'll do now is we'll just do a flight control check. So we'll start with the joystick, so full left, full right, full up, full down, full left on the rudder, and full right on the rudder. Excellent. So flaps 1, auto brake max on the speed brake, and like I said, it's not too cloudy, so I don't think we can get away with not actually having to use the anti-ice. APU off.
Cell is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left.
Flow.
We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Set the pitch trim, which was down 0.2. Bit too much. So sensitive. There we go. And engine mode with keep on normal. Spoilers are armed. Flaps are set, and one's indicating. Excuse me. Flight controls are checked. ECAM door page we have already checked, but we'll just triple check. So that's fine. ECAM status is fine. Hand signal we're about to get. In fact, I think we already had it. He's driving off, isn't he? Okay, so taxi checklist, taxi clearance we've obtained, parking brake will release in a second, auto brake is on max, takeoff config, we'll just check now. Takeoff config is normal, cabin will check a little bit closer to the runway, and taxi light will turn on. Okay, parking brake's released. So we're taxiing to runway 33, which I'll show you is just to our front left. Close this one if we don't need that anymore. So we are here, as AviType is nicely indicating, so we're just taxiing down Delta, Echo, Sierra, and then joining on runway 33. Just get back onto the centre line. We're heavy today. A little more energy to get us going. So yes, like I said, we'll head left. Right is clear, left is clear. I hope you guys have seen the preview videos for Flight Sim 2020 that a lot of the top YouTubers have been releasing. It's looking pretty damn incredible. Can't wait to get my hands on it. Signed up for the alpha, but I guess it's luck of the draw whether you actually get selected or not. Okay, we'll just check the cabin's ready. So, decam status, everything's in the green. So we'll take this next left and then join at the end of runway 33. So it actually looks like it automatically goes onto the flight control page. I need to stop doing things manually, this aircraft's too smart for me. So heavy. So yeah, done everything on there. So we'll just set the TCAS now. Wrong one. So TCAS stage 2, so that's traffic avoidance and what was the RA stand for again? Basically, I can't remember what the exact word is, but basically means it gives you instructions on how to avoid the collision. So where's is the tilt above the one that yeah, the one above. Tilt above, there we go, okay. So engine motor selector will keep on normal, brake temps should be fine, yeah, 20 degrees, if anything they're a bit too cold. Sliding tables are stowed, takeoff clearance is obtained, and then we'll get onto the runway. So strobes on, and then once we're lined up we'll get the main landing lights on. Left is clear, right is clear.
Approaching 3-3.
And that's the correct runway. Thank God. The only thing which I'm a bit disappointed about with the UK 2000 series, it doesn't have like the runway following contours, which at Birmingham's quite significant. It's actually quite a rolling runway. There's quite a lot of videos, from the end of the runway, and it shows kind of how curved it is.
On runway 3-3.
Okay, landing lights on. So let's let's get going. So Manflex SRS runway in the green and climb and nav in the blue. We are good to go. $80 knots. 100 knots, relax the tiller, whatever you want to call it. V1, rotate. And out we go. Positive rate, gear up. Simboy, welcome back. Just in time indeed. As we rocket out of Birmingham. On this beautiful autumnal day, even if it is a bit cold. Right, lever back to climb. And just relax a bit on that pitch as we accelerate up to 250. And right turn. And flaps up. Orbx TrueEarth looking stunning as usual. And we'll get the autopilot on. And we'll do the after takeoff checklist. So, spoilers of disarm without actually activating them. Engine mode select is on normal. We didn't adjust that. Taxi light we can turn off now. And engine and wing anti-ice. Like I said, it's clear day. We won't use it even though it is quite cold. And the packs are already on. So after takeoff checklist complete. And the rest is at 10,000 feet. So I've got the sense that we've got an altitude restriction coming up now. Yep, 6,000 to Livum, and then we'll head on back up. So I won't override this time because it's actually not too unreasonable altitude restriction. Warm welcome to everyone who's new to the stream. It's nice to have you guys on board. And it's nice to see my usual guys joining us as well. Just in time, remember this is 1 minute late. Yeah. That 1 minute delay worked for you. Because I'm pretty sure as I saw that message pop up, I had already taken off. So as soon as we start accelerating again, start climbing again, sorry, we'll switch over to standard, and then next items are at 10,000 feet. It's all going to be quite quick today because it's a short flight up. It'll be a classic UK domestic flight where we'll cruise for about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll be heading back down again. But I guess it's more interesting for you guys because we're not spending a huge amount of time on the cruise. And as it's quite a short flight, what we'll do is we'll probably do a little surprise at the end again, like I did the last stream, where we might do a bit in the Mac loop. You know, West Wales, Snowdon National Park. Go where the RAF go and do some low-level flying. It's completely up to you guys. I know the altimeter is flashing, but we'll just wait till we start climbing again before we switch over to standard, because otherwise it's going to start messing about with the airplane. I like your little emoji, Callum. Wow, the takeoff emoji, not seen that one before. So about to hit, what does I say, love 'em, and then we'll be climbing up again. Just get a little cheeky outside view. Thomas Cook, we're going to miss you. Okay, switch over to standard. No, not that one. That one. Yeah, I don't like the up and down arrows. It kind of confuses me. I know what they're trying to do, but I quite like to in the Aerosoft where it or I think the Tolis does it as well, where you get like a 1 dot or a 2 dot indicator. Just kind of, it's a little bit less confusing. So I've changed my stream to 1080 60 frames per second. So I don't know if you've noticed any improvement in the quality. But having fixed my internet issues and basically taken advantage of the actual speed that my internet was using, I've managed to up the bitrate and take advantage of that 60 frames per second option. I don't know if we'll really take full advantage of it in the UK because of TrueEarth, which really drops my frames. But you know, when we're flying around mainland Europe, I think we'll be getting close to 60 frames, so you should see some benefit then at least. You're on Thomas Cook from Orlando to Orlando from Glasgow in the A330. Yeah, I never did a long haul flight with Thomas Cook. I kind of, a bit of a shame. I know my partner did, and she said the food was actually really good because it was done by James Martin, the celebrity chef. So she really liked it. But yeah, bit of a shame. Right, that's 10,000 feet. Let's get our lights off. Not that one, that one, that one, and that one. So external lights are off, seatbelt signs will turn off once we're below that 5-degree climb. Pressurization is looking lovely, no problems there. So like I said, we'll just let the airplane settle down a little bit before we release the passengers. Yeah, it's a shame, it's really kind of, being based in Manchester, it's really closed down a lot of potential holiday routes for us, but the word on the street is that Virgin Atlantic are going to take a lot of them, and I do really like Virgin, so I do hope they buy up for some of those slots. So that would be pretty cool. I'd hope Virgin open up some kind of easterly routes from Manchester, because at the moment they're all pretty much the US or the Caribbean. Whereas you've got to kind of go to, basically, you've either got to take one of the Middle Eastern airlines like Etihad or Emirates to go east, and change in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. Otherwise you've got to go to London, you know, if you want to take a British Airways or a Virgin flight eastwards, which is what we did a few months ago. We flew to Hong Kong and we took British Airways down to Heathrow and then took Virgin out to Hong Kong, which is a pretty cool experience. A flight from Glasgow to Rias Airport, south of Barcelona. The approach is made. Sounds good. I'm pretty sure. Well, UK 2000 are currently working on a remake for Glasgow, which they'll release for X-Plane. So I guess once that's been released, I will give that a go. Rias Airport. Let's have a look at that. Costa de Ruda. I do like the Spanish approaches. Their series usually really nice. We did actually I've uploaded it to my YouTube channel, but we flew to Zaragoza in like northwestern Spain, and the scenery on you go over the Pyrenees, and the scenery there was unbelievable. Last year you were on the Virgin Atlantic to Orlando from Glasgow for your holiday, to Disney World and Disney Cruise. Yeah, so I think it's basically the same, because obviously Manchester the flights for Virgin Atlantic tend to be for the leisure market and the holidays. So they tend to be to holiday destinations in the US, such as New York. Then they go to Las Vegas as well, and then the Caribbean and Florida. So yeah, I know they have like a 747 that goes pretty much every day to Orlando. Flies over my my house, and the whole house pretty much shakes, even though I'm actually not Manchester Airport. So, you know, we're just so loud. See quite a bit of traffic around us, just around Birmingham. And I think we'll release the passengers now. We're pretty settled. It's this one, isn't it? So after 10,000 foot checklist, external lights are off, seatbelt signs are off, and pressurization's checked. So next checklist is just before descent. They fly the 747 out of Belfast. I did not know that. I didn't even know Virgin flew in and out of Belfast. I thought they pretty much flew Gatwick, London and Manchester. You learn something new every day. Let's have a little look at their route network. Well, and Glasgow, evidently, because Callum, you've informed me. So, Virgin Atlantic route network. I know they interline a lot with it's Delta, isn't it? Shame there's not a decent 747 for X-Plane just yet. So Glasgow, Edinburgh, Manchester, and London Heathrow, and Belfast, like you say. There you go. Can I see the destinations? No. Belfast to Orlando, yep, that's seasonal. And then Glasgow to Orlando is also seasonal. Manchester, Las Vegas, Los Angeles and Boston is seasonal. And then I'm guessing the other UK routes are pretty much... Let's have a look. Yeah, so Manchester, Barbados is regular. So they fly Atlanta, Boston, Las Vegas, New York, Orlando and Los Angeles regularly from Manchester. How's the stream looking, guys? Quality okay? Sound balance okay? I keep getting warnings from YouTube that it's not receiving enough data. That might be affecting the stream, but whenever I play it back and whenever I ask you guys, it seems to be okay. But I just obviously want to make sure we're not losing any quality. So what have we got down there? That looks like Manchester. So that will probably be what's that old BAE airport called again? Always forget it. Manchester Airport. Is that near Cheadle, isn't it? Woodford, that's it. Woodford Air Base is what was Woodford Air Base is down there, just behind the pillar. And that's Manchester, obviously. And then that'll probably be. Is that the Harwarden, where it's called, the one where the Airbus factory is? Just thought it'd be a little bit further away than that. Barton's down there somewhere as well. Barton's around here-ish. That's City, Manchester. Emirates 777 and A380 flying out of Glasgow as well. Yeah, I'm surprised that the Emirates and Etihad they fill up their aircraft, because they fly out an A380. I think it's pretty much every day from Manchester. I'm surprised they can fill it up, because although Manchester's a pretty big airport, I'm surprised they get the demand for that. 777, even the 777, to be honest, is quite surprising. I mean, Glasgow kind of makes sense because you obviously you've got a large proportion of Scotland that will cater to, and you know, to avoid having to go down to London from Scotland, which is quite a long way. It kind of makes sense for them to fly direct to one of the, you know, either Glasgow or Edinburgh. So, leaving Manchester behind. Such a long way before we get top of descent. Like I said, it's probably, well, in fact, look, you can see it's top of descent, and then what, 5 or 10 nautical miles, and then sorry, top of climb, and then about 5 or 10 miles before top of descent. So, like I said, it's pretty much a straight up, straight down. So we'll have to work pretty quick to go through the pre-descent checklist, but essentially it's just putting the perf data in and setting the auto brake. Auto brake will probably... Aberdeen's probably a bit borderline between low and medium. Let's just get the airport chart up and just have a look at the runway distance. So Echo Golf, Papa Delta. Aberdeen Dice, and airport chart, airport, what are we looking at? A couple of thousand. That's pretty long actually now. I think we'll be fine with auto brake 1. We can always just put some hard manual braking at the end. I can't believe in the last flight I forgot to put the aircraft into VNAV mode. So basically I overrode the altitude restriction and put the 737, the Zebo, into flight level change, and then completely forgot to put it back into VNAV once it passed the altitude restriction. So we were basically going, well, like 200 knots the whole entire way, which so slow, and then I realised it about 3/4 of the way through the flight. And then had a classic mare when landing at Sumba, where when I was using the joystick, I pulled out the microphone USB from the microphone, so we lost all sound and microphone. You're on Xbox, so you can't wait for the new flight simulator on that. Yeah, I know, I bet. I mean, looking at the specs and looking at how high quality the scenery is, I'm so surprised that they're going to be able to get it on an Xbox. I think some people were saying that it's potentially going to be for the next gen Xbox, and I imagine they'll probably update the hardware to be a bit more beefy. But yeah, I'm very surprised they're going to be able to get that onto Xbox. But I mean, that's a good sign for PC users, because I mean, if it's supported on an Xbox, then that gives us a good idea that it's going to be pretty well optimized, or at least will be flexible in how you can optimize it. Scenery looking amazing. So it's only like, what, 60 nautical miles till top of cruise, and then 80 nautical miles to top of descent, so this is going to fly by. But yeah, I mean, I'm a bit conflicted about what to expect with this new flight sim, because on one hand, I'm really impressed at what they've done and what they're planning on doing in terms of the scenery. Looks incredible. The atmosphere looks unbelievable with the the volumetric clouds and the scattering of the lights and the lighting and the rain and the localized weather effects. It just looks so realistic, and it like blows everything out of the water that we've already had in flight sim. But then I was a little bit concerned that they basically mentioned that they're still using the original components of the flight of FSX. It's like they've not started from scratch; they're still using elements from FSX, which worries me a little bit, because it's like, well, why didn't you just start from scratch? there were a lot of problems with FSX. But then on the other side, they were saying that there even might be some compatibility with the add-ons from FSX. I don't know how true that is, or how compatible, and what things will be able to be ported over. But that would be quite interesting. But I mean, they've spent 5 years on it. They've got a good team, and it just looked like they're taking everything very seriously. So as long as it's as good as it looks, and the flight model isn't running on rails like it used to be, then I think it's going to be a great step up. They do say, like I was watching one video where they were basically saying that they're going from one point. They're basically calculating the flight model off one modelled surface to over 1,000. So even if it is not using like blade theory or like a 3D flight model, improving what they had by 1,000 times can only be a good thing. You play Infinite Flight on the iPad, and do Glasgow to Rias Airport, so even though it doesn't have 3D building, it still looks really good. Yeah, well, I mean, I've never used Infinite Flight, but as long as they update FSX, what was FSX to modern requirements, optimize it, make it look as good as they are in the videos, then I think we're going to be very happy. Because I was saying this in my last stream, it looks like they're pretty much going to be able to negate the use of add-on scenery. And maybe for some airports, but like the likes of Orbx TrueEarth, I think it's going to be pretty redundant, as is Ortho for XP, because basically the whole thing is just generated as ortho scenery. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm quite intrigued to see what the default airports are going to be like, because I imagine even if they do use the technology they're using to build the buildings and things, it's not going to be quite as good as a tailor-made airport. So it'd be interesting to see how many of the default airports are going to be hand-modelled, or whether they're all going to be generated using this kind of autogen. It's always around this point that down. It's kind of like the border between England and Scotland as it loads in the additional scenery. I don't know if it's the Lake District or the borders or something. But obviously we are transitioning between two TrueEarth scenery packs, so it is a bit frustrating because it really drops the frames, and it starts affecting my stream as well. See what we're getting. Yeah, so it drops all the way down to like 15 frames around this point, which is pretty horrendous. Because at that point it starts to affect the simulation rate in X-Plane. Reese Yoxon, thanks very much for subscribing and welcome to the stream. Much appreciated, thank you for the support. So let's have a little look. So we are very close to top of descent, top of climb. Sorry. So as soon as we hit that point, we'll start planning for the descent, because it's going to be pretty much straight after. And we've got to be on the ball because obviously we're doing a straight-in approach at Aberdeen. Yeah, I've talked about this a few times before, but this is the issue of xEnviro. I think it basically loads the weather in squares. So you get these points where there's a border between the two squares, and basically it loads in loads of cloud on one side and then hardly anything on the other side. So hopefully that's something they'll be working on. But also, you know, there's so much stuff that's coming out for X-Plane in the coming months that it's kind of almost a bit of a shame that the new flight simulator is coming out, because, you know, you've got the likes of the MD-11 by Rotate, which looks unbelievable and probably out there with one of my favourite aircraft. And then you've got the BA-146 from Just Flight, which pretty much is my favourite aircraft. And then what else you got? You got the version 2 of the 777, the version 2 of the 747-800 by SSG, and then the last, what was it? And then the version 2 of the Dash 8Q400 as well. So it's like we've got so many good aircraft, and in some ways you kind of just hope that they hurry up, because I imagine once, you know, the new flight sim comes out, there's going to be a pretty high dropout rate of, you know, using the older sims like X-Plane and P3D. That I just got to hope, you know, for the sake of the add-on developers, that they get out soon. But if you watch, there's a really good channel on YouTube called airclips.com, and they're based on really high fidelity documentary series of you know, flying in various aircraft, and one of my favourites is when they're in the Lufthansa cargo in their MD-11, and it's just so cool. I just love that plane. I know it's got a bit of a dodgy safety history, but it's one badass looking aircraft. Okay, so that's top of cruise. Let's program in our perf data for the arrival into Aberdeen. So we'll get our Avi tab up and go back to. Okay, so got a bit of a wind, 50 knot wind, pretty much head on. Scatter clouds, temperature of 11 degrees, so not much colder in Aberdeen. QNH 1017, no significant change expected, so let's put that in. Temperature was 11. And then 310 at 15 for the wind. And we'll go, yeah, flaps full, because it's not the longest runway in the world. The approach is 139, so yeah, not too fast, that's not too bad. And then decision altitude. Let's go back to the charts. Approach chart for ILS 3-4. Which one was yeah, so PFX was trying to get us to land on 3-2, which is a 581 metre runway. Don't think that would have worked out very well for us. Right, so decision altitude is 415. Don't know why it's not giving us a decision height, but anyway, 415. And that is us all set. Excellent. So we'll do the pre-descent checklist, which is ATIS obtained, we just read it out. MCDU is fine, we'll just put in our... Sorry, I always do this, I'll just flip out of the tab. So we'll go down to 2,500 for our final altitude. And click that in once we get you know, the V path indicating. So MCDU is now set. Nav accuracy we won't do. Auto brake would go low. Seatbelt signs will switch on as we're approaching kind of 10,000 feet-ish. And anti-ice we may need. Although the dew point wasn't too bad, so I think we'll be okay. So there we go. We're already 130 nautical miles to go. 151 on the stream display. 15:35, which should be 16:35 UK time. Let's see if that's about right. Yeah, actually, for once, it's not too far off our predicted time of arrival. So I've got to pay attention to the top of descent, because it's an easy one to get distracted about. So Callum, how do you find an infinite flight? I've never actually properly looked into it or considered it. I think, is that the one that like Orbx now do CNOT before? Flight. Oh no. It's only, oh yeah, that's a it's like a mobile only version, mobile only sim, isn't it? What's the one I'm thinking of? There's another flight sim that I think is out for PC that Orbx and I think Aerosoft now do scenery for. Something 2. I thought it was Infinite Flight 2 or something like that. So we want to, yeah, so it's pushing it in, so it's the up arrow that we'll need once we get the V path. How are our frames doing now? Yeah, a little bit better. Like I said, it's that, it seems to be that transition between like England and Scotland that Sim really struggles with. Let's just see where we are. I imagine we've probably already gone past Edinburgh, but we'll just have a quick look. Where are we? Let's have a look at the map. That doesn't look... It could be actually kind of northeast England / Scotland. Head over to our map. Stanley! Oh right, yeah, we're only at Newcastle. Oh, yeah, fair enough, we've got a little while before we get to Edinburgh. But I imagine, yeah, we're going to go out over the North Sea, so we're probably going to miss Edinburgh, but it'll be out our left hand side anyway. Ugh, I hate that shimmering you get with xEnviro's volumetric clouds. It really messes with my eyesight. Right, so almost there. 12 nautical miles, double descent. Wow, that's a seriously hefty headwind. 105 knots, pretty much bang on headwind. That's dropping us almost 100 knots on our ground speed as well. I think it's the, well, what they're saying is it's the tail end of that hurricane that hit the US a few weeks ago. It's now hitting us, and it's dropping the temperatures, and I'm guessing that's why the high altitude winds are pretty fast. So making our left turn. But the problem with the clouds is I'm using like a 32-inch monitor, which means everything's very amplified. Particularly that I'm streaming in 1080p, so these clouds look a lot worse than it looks on my other, my other monitor, which is only a 1080p monitor. So there's some traffic down there. So just paying attention to the primary flight display, because we'll get a little like vertical path indicator in a second popping up, and then that's the point where we need to go back into managed mode on the altitude. Should be coming up any second now. Switch that to all. It's just the TCAS. Any second now. There we go. Down we go. So we'll go back to, what is it, 160 nautical miles. Actually, we can get out to 80 nautical miles on the map display. But it's pretty uneventful now as we go out over the North Sea and head straight into Aberdeen. Let's see what Flight Sim Reddit's got to say today. More hype around Flight Sim. Ooh, interesting. A380 in development. Is that going to be like all the other A380s that are supposedly coming that never materialise? That's the top comment on Reddit. If everyone who claimed they were developing an A380 actually followed through, we'd have about 10 A380s out by now, I know. Tell us about it. What sim is it for? I mean, it looks pretty good. The initial pictures. Blah, 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 blah. It's not looking very promising. Yeah, what a surprise. It looks like it's a pile of rubbish. Oh my god, please tell me that's not true. I've got to put that in the chat, that's brilliant. Curved runway. Screw sloping runways. That's the next challenge, the curved and sloping runway. Oops. Let's see if there's any other news. I do love Flight Sim Reddit, but there are just that few too many screenshots on it, not much substance. Oh, that's a nice picture of the 747 though. I do wish we had a decent 747 for X-Plane. So, I think that's probably Berwick below us. And then I imagine Edinburgh's under all these clouds. Let's see if I'm right. Possibly. I mean, it looks actually like Berwick's probably a little bit further. Yeah, actually no, I was right, yeah. Up there. So I think Berwick's like down here. And then Edinburgh is going to be over there a bit, so probably just out of view. Outer tank fuel level transferred, so we've drained the outer fuel tanks, we're just on the inner ones now. Something well, watching the air clips videos that I mentioned earlier on, I watched quite an interesting video where it's one of the Lufthansa cargo flights into Quito, and the airport's so high, I think it's around about 8,000 feet, the airport's so high that the cabin pressure was actually on landing is actually lower than the actual outside cabin pressure, because if you look here, we're at what, 5,500 feet, so they actually had to pressurise the cabin in order to, you know, open the doors and actually land at the airport, which I thought was bizarre. And like, you never even think of that. I think there is. Was the Quito scenery, has that been released for X-Plane as well? I know there's one. Well, there was one for P3D. But I think that once the MD-11 comes out, I'd love to do. Yeah, Aerosoft has done it. Yeah, I thought there was one. Oh no, it's for P3D. Oh, that's a shame. Because once the MD-11 comes in, I would love to land into Quito. Such an epic approach. Just there is one on the org store or the org forum actually. But that's the new. Excuse me. That's the new scenery. Oh, sorry, the new airport. So I'll check out what what the default scenery is looking like, because usually interesting airports, or popular airports, they tend to have pretty decent scenery on the scenery gateway. So we'll just move over to the approach checklist, and yeah, we're all a bit early for that, so we'll do all that once we approach 10,000 feet. The only kind of outstanding item from the previous checklist was the seatbelt signs, which will turn on shortly, around about 20,000 feet. But just over 80 nautical miles to go, so not long at all. I think the ETA is pretty accurate, so probably about 20 minutes we'll be down on the ground. Just see what they're, 43, 40, yeah, so yeah, that's pretty accurate. Still no sign of the Firth Forth, so not quite at Edinburgh yet. Yeah, so it's thereabouts. Oh, it's going on this purple thing. Yeah, it's loading in or something. Unless that's just the range that it gives us. Shame there's so much cloud, you're not going to see Edinburgh. I do find it weird, because that's the kind of thing you think of something broken with the sim. It's actually probably what it's like in real life. And someone was saying on the MD11, well, the Rotate MD11 forum, that the MD11 has quite a few quirks on its autoflight or autopilot system, which I can just see people downloading the plane, and then if they simulated those quirks, people complaining that the sim's broken, when actually that's just what the real thing's like. Okay, let's get the seatbelt signs on now. Get those passengers seated. Oh man, I need to show you guys a video I've just thought of. That just shows why you need to keep your seatbelts on when you're on the plane, even in the cruising altitude, because unsuspected turbulence is not cool. Let me just see if I can find it. I think it's this one. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Keep those seatbelts fastened. Okay, let's get the lights on now. Why not? If anything, just giving us a little bit of drag. And so sliding tables are stowed. Like, external lights are on. Seatbelt signs are on. Landing system we can turn on now. Put our constraints on as well. and pressurization is fine. We're descending on our cabin pressure. Ecam status is everything in the green, no problems at all. And the rest is our landing checklist. So, gotta love the Airbus. It's pretty straightforward to fly. Wow, it is so cloudy. So it looks like UK 2000, they're overhauling the way that they do scenery, which is quite nice. I think the guy's called Gary, isn't he? Gary's basically updating all the scenery to include all the the newer effects and PBR and all that kind of stuff that you get in the newer sceneries, and hopefully he'll decent resolution of the textures and stuff. As good as UK 2000 are. I don't think they're very good value for money, but they are starting to show their age, particularly with the texture quality and stuff. And I think he's always been reasonable with the prices that he charges and stuff. But it looks like he's understood the market now, and obviously he's got a bit of competition from Orbx, and looks like he's going to be updating all his sceneries to take into consideration the newer sims, so that's good to hear. Like I said, he's just released his first updated scenery, or scenery using the new kind of new textures and effects and stuff, and that's the Inverness scenery. But like I said, I was hoping to do that today, but he hasn't quite released. He's released it for P3D, but he hasn't released it for X-Plane just yet. So that'll be interesting to check out, just to see what the difference is like. So we'll just drop down to 40 now on the map display. Okay, nice buttery smooth frames now, which is much better. Don't know why this frame indicator on the stream just seems to be a bit temperamental. Sometimes it does display the frame rate, and half the time it just seems to be stuck at 19, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. So we're just about to hit Ballard, which is our last VOR before we come straight into Aberdeen. That's probably be over like Dundee or something, roundabouts now. St Andrews is off to our left, where I went to university, and Dundee's just a little bit further up, so yeah. Maybe when we get this little break in the clouds, we'll be able to see something. We're actually getting around about 23, so I don't know why it's saying 19. I thought the bug was once the frame rate goes below 19, it stops indicating your frames, but it doesn't seem to be doing that either, so no idea what it's doing there. Tweak utility, great add-on, or plugin, I should say. Definitely go check it out. I keep forgetting to put it into the description for my streams, but yeah, no, it's really good. It just helps smooth out your frames and just adjust your, essentially adjust your settings in real time, just to try and get the best frames you can. So we're about to hit 10,000. Hopefully we'll get a better landing rate than we did last stream. I think that was about -300, so hopefully we'll get somewhere between 50 and 200 this time, which would be nice. As we're decelerating for crossing 10,000 feet. So this... Oh, hang on, we're actually a lot further away from the coast than I thought we were. So I think Dundee will be round about there-ish. Maybe a little bit further behind. So we're approaching Aberdeen, which will be straight ahead. So our broth will be somewhere along here as well, famous for its smoked fish. As we've crossed 10,000 feet, so what we'll do is we'll go over to Q&H, which we'll get from the... Oh, what am I doing? Go to the airport tab, Aberdeen, update. Just 1017. There we go. So taxi lights on set to take off. Missed approach altitude was set once we're on the glide slope. Spoilers were arm. And then the rest will do as we're on final. As much as xEnviro does have its faults though, it does look really nice when it's like this though. And we'll go down to 20 nautical miles on the map. So, I don't know why we're leveling off there. Is that a altitude restriction? Or is that just when we're going to hit 2,500? I'm wondering if that's it. I think it's... Is it Rapu? Possibly an altitude restriction. Rapu. What a name. There's a constraint there, which is 1720. Aberdeen Aviation, welcome to the stream. From your destination of Aberdeen, absolutely. Hope you're well. Looks like we're going to get some bumpy air in a second with some hefty clouds ahead. I'm excellent, thank you. Glad to hear you well too. What airline? Well, it had to be only one airline, which of course is Thomas Cook. This is my tribute flight to the poor airline and holiday business. They served us well. Sad to see them go. Now XP realistic on for the A320. That's probably why we're not bumping about. Just change some of the settings about a bit. I hate some of the settings on this. Okie dokie, let's have a look how we're doing. So we break through the clouds. You can try work out a stand Aberdeen for you. TCX with the 757, you stand 1A. Yeah, 1A sounds good. So we should be about to decel now. Yep, there we go. And once we slow down a little bit, we'll go down to flaps 1. And we'll activate approach. What we'll do is we'll go to the FAP and get ready to hit the cabin ready indicator. Just start going down a little bit. And go flaps 1. For some reason it's not pick up where the glide slope it's taking us in a little bit too close, but there's no problem. We'll just speed up a little bit. So we'll go gear down, flaps 2. Oh, that's a little bit too fast for that. We'll go flaps 1. Just so we can pick up the glide slope. I'll do actually is I'll just take manual. Actually, there we go. There's the glide slope. So you're probably gonna have to go around. Just we're quite unstable, but we'll just play it by ear.
1,000.
There's the glide slope.
Flaps.
So we're going
Flaps.
pretty
Too
fast.
Terrain.
Yeah.
Too fast.
Too
We'll go around
terrain.
and then we'll
Too low terrain. Too low terrain. Too low terrain.
just do a
Too
quick
low
orbit.
terrain. Too low terrain.
Go flaps up, gear up. go into heading mode, and we'll go just right to 090. There we go. And then, like I said, we'll just do a quick orbit and then we'll rejoin the ILS. It was just a little bit too quick. The aircraft didn't have an opportunity to slow down. We could probably use a bit of speed brake, but just easier to go around. Yeah, absolutely, Aberdeen Aviation. We'll just take a right turn and then we'll rejoin. Just get the approach chart. Oh, that's absolutely right. So 3,000 and then as direct. So we're going to go right out here, and so take a 160. In a second. Go 140 and then we'll go 160. We're essentially just doing what we should have done, which is go by Aberdeen VOR, but it doesn't matter. We'll go into speed manual mode. And then 160. So we'll go, what's that? Radial, 720 DME arc. So we'll go 20, so we're at 6.6, only at 6.6, so we'll go around about 15 and then we'll come back round. So like I said, it's just for some reason the routing actually, I should have probably picked up on that when I was planning it, just took us just a little bit too close, so actually we'd gone below gone above the glide slope before we'd even got hit the localizer. Try and make it Mach 7. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, Mach 7 makes sense. So waiting for about 15-16 DME and then we'll make a right turn to intercept again. So let's go down to 2,500. Go for this one. And let's make that right turn. 290 should be about right. Swiss support, I can't, I'm afraid. I don't. Well, I think you can change the handling provider for you know, the ground environment that FlyJSON that do, but I think you need to download them manually. So we'll go 300 now.
2,500.
And arm the approach. No worry. Haven't heard that in a little while. Alright, this looks a lot more promising. Ah, look at that, breaking through. That's nice. Okay, so we got lights. We got localizing glide slope indicated, not alive just yet. I think that's the airport there, isn't it? Should be localizer alive very shortly. Beautiful day up in Aberdeen. I don't know if it's what it's actually like in Aberdeen Aberdeen at the moment. Aberdeen aviation. Not on the NJEX, so it should float. Well, fingers crossed. Don't speak too soon. Okay, so localizer's live and captured. And there's the airfield. Just about to see the Pappy lights. Got a slight left to right crosswind, but nothing too significant. Yeah, this is much more stabilised than our last approach. I almost, and I wish I'd done it, I almost modified it at the last second. It's sunny for once, very nice. Same here in Manchester. Sunny but cloudy. Well, then that's pretty much what we got in front of us, haven't we? So glide slope's live. Let's go gear down. And flaps 2. That's a horrible sound. I might have to turn that off on XB Realistic. Poor open air pool in Scotland. That does not sound like a good combination. And we'll go flaps 3 as we establish ourselves on the glide slope. Just see if I can find that gear sound, because that's horrible. This one. Yeah. In fact, what we'll do is just turn the volume down. I don't mind the rumble, it's just that horrible sound effect. And we'll go flaps 4. So landing checklist is all green, so landing gear's down and 3 green. Signs are on, cabin's ready, spoilers are armed, and flaps are full. So, beautiful day, we've got a good sight, so let's take the autopilot off. It'll be very chilly now, don't blame me. I've been in the North Sea a couple of times in the middle of the winter when I was at St Andrews, and yeah, that was pretty damn cold. So yeah, just a little bit of a left to right crosswind, which we're just feeling a little bit. Nothing too major. So it was Mike 7, wasn't it, that we're going to try and get off at?
1,000.
So I like to be just a little bit below the glide slope, just gives us a bit of room to flare. But not
Approaching.
that far.
3, 4.
Correct runway, so continue. So we'll ignore the flight director now, we'll just visually guide ourselves down, aiming for that touchdown zone.
Above. 200 minimum.
Continue.
One 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 20, 10, 5.
Long landing, 4,000 feet remaining.
There's 80 knots, that's idle reverse. And we'll take manual brakes and stow the reversers. I didn't think that was a long landing. We were still within the touchdown zone. But anyway, nice smooth landing. I think 240 minus 240 was a little bit harsh, but anyway. I forget how high the drag is. So we'll clean up, so we'll put the spoilers down and bring up the flaps. Not better, thanks. So this, I think this is Mike 7, isn't it? So we'll take the next left. Yeah, I think there's an issue with the UK 2000 scenic, so it feels like we're actually taxiing over the grass at the moment. So it's left here, I think. So spoilers are retracted. Enter mode is on norm, flaps retracted, transponder to standby. Brake temp does not look correct because we can't possibly be at 20 degrees. We'll start the APU. Alright, now we're on the tarmac. Yeah, something weird's going on with the runway at Aberdeen, UK 2000. Okay, so where are we going again for the parking stand? So lights off. Taxi. Past the tower and the hangars. Okay. to remember Aberdeen Aviation, there's a bit of a delay on the stream, so if you just let me know what the stand number is, I'll taxi it in. I think you said it was 10 Alpha, so I think it's that one there. 1A, which is all the way down the end. Okay, assuming it's not being occupied by something else. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed the flight so far. Do hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and if you want to be notified when I'm out streaming, hit the bell, or like me on Facebook. The links are in chat. And then you'll be I'll give you a heads up on when I'm streaming next. Probably the next stream will be tomorrow evening, about 7 o'clock-ish, but I'll give you an exact time tomorrow. And don't forget to like the video, because that does really help me. It just gets my videos a little bit higher up on those searches.
Approaching 05.
And forgot to take off the strobe, so I'll take off the strobe now. So I think I'm coming down here, so 1A will be down right down the end where this, near where this aircraft is. Seven, 6. Yep, so there's number 1. Slow down a little bit. Get off the taxi light so we don't blind the ground crew, but even though we are using a water gate. And we'll shut down engine number 2. Now, is this autogate going to work? It's not looking promising. I seem to remember you have to do something actually with the UK 2000 scenery to get the autogates to work, and I must have forgotten to do that. Always a case of read the manual. Guys, please don't promote your own channels and streams in my chat. It's not particularly good manners. Welcome to Aberdeen. Let's turn off engine number 1 and get off the seatbelt sign. And get the ground power on. And connect the ground power, and then turn off the APU. Turn off the fuel pumps. Turn off the beacon, and what we'll do now is we'll do some replays, and then we'll wrap the stream up there. And like I said, we'll do another stream tomorrow evening around about 7 o'clock. Otherwise, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So let's do some replays. That's quite a good place to start. Bit of a caveat, in the A320 you don't get any sounds in replays, it's going to unfortunately be a silent replay. So yeah, I thought that was pretty smooth. I think I'm wondering if because it's like a grass runway, the sim thinks it's a grass runway, whether that's what's affected the landing rate calculation. Because that did not look like 250 or whatever it was saying. Excellent. Right, let's go to the end of the runway. Oh, it's gonna. There's so many runways it's going to get confused. What we'll do is we'll just have to reset it once. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that. Right. There we go. Okay. Yeah, well within the touch zone. So yeah, don't think that was a long landing. Everything was trying to discredit me. My landing rate, and then the RAS on the aircraft was saying it was a long landing when it wasn't. Right, let's go to tower. Oops, we crashed it. Yep, X-Base crashed. No worries, we'll have to skip out on the tower view. I zoomed in a bit too quickly. So thanks very much guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and go onto my Facebook page. But otherwise I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 o'clock UK time. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye.